it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. Much love going out to all the beautiful, empowered harmonizers. And we are zooming in and focusing in on, and picking up where we left off on the video. And I apologize, looks like the tape got cut off. And it is, we are zooming in and focusing in on a great viewer question, and that is to really address how their energy, their lifestyle has really changed as a result of being with an emotional manipulator, someone who is narcissistic or psychopathic. And I've also had a number of viewers who've inquired, how do you deal with this when this has been your family member or family members, either, in the narcissistic or psychopathic realm or very close proximity, like in the workplace. And it's really made a life-changing, life-altering impact on how you feel, how you interact with life, how you interact with others, how your energy is on a day-to-day basis, and now that you're suffering as a result. And very interestingly enough, Dr. Martha Stout, in her book, The Sociopath Next Door, she discusses how, when we look at, especially psychopathy, those individuals who emotionally manipulate, fool, and dupe others because they have no remorse, no guilt, no conscience, no feelings. They don't really have emotions, really, the way that the rest of humanity and society does, that they resort to, emotional manipulation and hurting others, setting them up for failure. And, they do not feel bad. In fact, they kind of delight in their ability to direct and contort and twist and maim and ruin the lives and life course of others. And the fact that they don't feel anything. And it's the idea that, they don't feel bad. In fact, they tend to get kind of a giggle or a rise or a reward out of misdirecting somebody's life. And they're like, look how powerful I am. I just made you go down this path in your life. That's really how they assess their impact in life. So it is very sad. It's very sadistic. But like Dr. Martha Stout says, it's one of the diseases or disorders where the individual who has the disorder does not suffer. So when we think really about, and narcissists do, because they're like, I'm losing supply, or, really deep inside, they feel a sense of insecurity. They feel a sense of loss when they really look overall. But just to her point that, they don't feel that they are, they don't suffer as a result of the harm that they have caused others. So it's really, really one of the very difficult situations to really understand, comprehend, and move through successfully. I feel really it's one of the greatest challenges in life, because it's so intangible. We're talking about something very intangible, including what we're just going to call energy, which is your feelings, which is your energy in motion, which is your emotions. So, you think, oh, it's my emotions, it's an emoji. It's more than an emoji. It's an emoji, yes. There's a very powerful, the yellow smiley face. It's been shown, when people see that, it lights up. They feel happy when they see a happy smile face. And studies have shown that workers are more productive when they have one of those in their cubicle. They just feel happier when they have that around. So yes, that does generate your emotions, but it's important to understand that yes, the emotional manipulators cause a dampening, a darkening, a lessening, a retreat of positive emotions because of the negative self-assessment that tends to go on with the emotional manipulation. And we were talking about how this can impact you, but how to rise up. And then the concept of, the fact that they're trying to manipulate you down into something of their desire, of their vision for you versus your vision for yourself. So it's a whole different energy if you look at it and understand it on that level, that your faith and guidance in yourself is what you need to call forth. You drive yourself and you make yourself happy. It is not, the other way around, where others drive you or others make you happy. Yes, we have relationships, but really the spark, the energy, the fuel, the key in the ignition is this little, it's within. And so and it can go at different levels of contentment, to joy, to happiness, to bliss, to, ecstatic, to euphoric, to taming down again, but all this is really driven within. But that mechanism of being able to use that in your life, that it's really an internal, magnetic emotional state so we're talking about etheric energy or emotional energy, which you can feel when you're around, someone who has been life-altering, life-changing, emotionally manipulative, emotionally abusive. Those people who are sensitive often can feel their energy. This person feels very good. This person feels very, very smart. This person feels very loving, very nurturing. This person feels, enthusiastic. This person feels dangerous. We all have those. This person feels, this person is this, and how you define it is important for you to understand, and to look at it realistically. And oftentimes it's to understand that those people who are emotionally manipulative in a not a positive state for you. So a negative impact, a negative outcome, a negative influence, a toxic outcome, a harsh influence, minimizing you, making your energy down, pushing you away, alienating you from the crowd, getting you easy to pick on, weakening you so you're easier to beat up, criticizing you to the point where you can't stand up for yourself, you can't live for yourself, you feel that you're not worthy, you have low self-esteem, that you're not worthy of living, yelling at you, tone of voice, throwing things, slamming doors, evil looks. They know how they push buttons, and for some people, they feel that that is their right, that's what life is, that they are rewarded neurologically. The dopamine and the serotonin, their feel-good chemicals and the reward chemicals are on high, they're on high power, they're on high octane, all cylinders are going when they are over others. So when they steal others' thunder, when they emotionally manipulate by criticism, by gaslighting, you're not that sick, what's wrong with you, constantly minimizing your state in life. You should be this, you should be that. They don't know the inner state, which is real. And so you get used to denying your inner state. And so you feel dehumanized, depersonalized, minimized. And so we were stating before, in the previous video, when you're around other people, are they, we look at the root word education, educare, to pull out. And that's expansive, and that's energy giving, and that's allowing people to be. It's cohabitation, coexistence. You're not trying to carve out their reality or carve them down. You're allowing to pull out within them, and so they can be themselves. Educare, to bring out. So, for example, there's so many different personality traits that you can have and talents which are uniquely yours. I call it your internal real estate, but that you have that's valuable within you. You might be a great cook. You might be a great engineer. You might be great with your hands. You might be great with research. You might be great with people. You might be great with internal, interpersonal awareness. Gardner, the 8 talents. So it's important that to regain your energy, to regain your place in this world, in your rightful place, your happy space, where you're living an enlarged, expansive life, and you're not being minimized, degraded, made to feel bad, dampered, not validated, no eye contact. You know what you've been through. There's no denying. If you have been hurt, you have been hurt. If you've been scarred, you've been scarred. If it's been profound, it's been profound. If it's been superficial, it's been superficial. But to acknowledge it and validate it is to say, this happened. Own your experience. And to own your experience is to really get empowered, because you get your right to life back. It's like you have to give that awareness to yourself, and it takes time. It's like neuroplasticity. As we were saying in the previous video, when we talk about quantum healing, we're looking at Dr. Joe Dispenza and his understanding and study of neuroplasticity. In other words, there are neural pathways in the mind which, when they're traveled frequently, they really set up a neural highway, and it's just like seeing a field and then, being able to run through it a lot, and then you see the tracks. There's been activity there. There's been a lot of travel. There's been a lot of pathways. There's been a lot of activity. Your emotions, they carve these neural highways, your thoughts, your feelings, your behaviors. So they're well-trodden, they're well-traveled. They tend to then recruit other neuron cells around them to reinforce it. This is, rememorizing and learning a behavior. Neuroplasticity is the ability of your mind to create new neural synapses, new neural highways. So if you've never traveled over here, you've never had these thoughts, experiences, feelings, assessments of yourself, energy, you're breaking ground. You're breaking new emotional ground when you open this up. You're going new places. Your identity is growing, personal growth. So it's important for you to acknowledge this and then give yourself the opportunity to engage in neuroplasticity, to learn about it, study about it. Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Bruce Lipton, the study of epigenetics, and then getting into that understanding that you have to change the routine and break the cycle, the loop that has kept you feeling manipulated, victimized, hurt. If they can create that neuroplasticity, like it's called the trigger, like if they this, then you this. There is, in other words, the look, the thought, and then they're almost, what viewers have stated is that this state tends to perpetuate even after this person is out of the picture, no contact. They're not there physically. They're still kind of in that strong neuroplasticity, just the groove that it has created, the funk that it has created in their life. And so their energy state, their feel state, their think state, their behavior state is still like all in that lower energy. And so you have to understand through awareness that this is the reason why. There's a couple key components that you really must get, is to understand that those people who are hurtful, they maim to make others more maimable. Wounded people wound, healed people heal. If you've been around a lot of wounding people, they are wounded themselves, so they're going to wound. Wounded people wound, healed people heal. So when you're picking up on all this energy state, man, this is like deep stuff. This is deep stuff, dudes, gals. So wounded people, let's just kind of explore that for a moment. So you're interacting with their wounds, or you're interacting with their healing. You can feel this on an energetic level, or maybe you're learning to, or maybe you will, but you must understand you possess your energy, others possess their energy, and when you come together, there's like an energy dance between the two of you, and, if you promulgate healing and then you then receive abuse, this is going to be a problem. If you promulgate healing and then they promulgate healing, there's going to be some positive, there's going to be some learning, but you're generally going to be in a positive zone, in a positive energy, and it's going to at least not drain you out, not wear you out. The emotionally manipulative individuals will wear you out. They'll grind you down like, just like a mortar and pestle. I mean, they'll, grind you to a powder and then blow you away. I mean, especially the psychopathic on the intense edge of the realm, and I know we have a lot of viewers who have had these individuals as parents. So imagine how difficult it would be with someone who is constantly lying, constantly a mask, constantly twisting and contorting your reality, and not having that emotional connection. Just think how difficult life would be, and how difficult it would be for you to rise up and light that like Olympic torch and continue on. Just think of the willpower. Just think of the determination it's going to take. I mean, you need to understand that it's going to take that willpower, that desire to thrive, to get out from underneath the energy and its ramifications. In other words, what the brain is still processing, those old memories. Your memories, they're stored. Your cells, like, take a picture of it like an iPhone, like an Android phone. It takes pictures of it. It's like stored. That's like how your immune system works. Your immune system is your white blood cells coming out of your bone marrow, going through your thymus, and then going through, becoming like a soldier to guard you against disease. And when there's a virus, it takes a little picture of it, say, oh, that's that virus. We're going to stomp that guy out. That's how your cells work. They have a memory. And so you also have a cellular memory, a physical memory. It's stored in your body, how it feels. And so, it's just natural. It's normal that you're going through this, but you can now get new memories as you learn about what had happened. So you can rememorize the event. You can rememorize their energy. Oh, I'm getting a new memory now that I look back through higher levels of conscience. We have so many areas. This is like intense. I don't know about you guys, but this is getting intense for me. So there's so many levels of consciousness, so that when you look back, you can look back at it with new eyes, with healed eyes, from a healed perspective, and go, wow, that was abuse back then. That was someone trying to control me. I see it now, and I realize how good I was. I realize how innocent I was. And so I'm rememorizing that experience. Aha, I get it now. That's what was happening with that guy. That's what was happening with that girl. That's what was happening in the office. That was what happening in the kitchen. That was what was happening in my bedroom as a little girl. That's what was happening. And then so your brain, from a new mature perspective, can re-memorize and re-rehearse and flood new feelings into those past experiences, those relationships which have been scarring profoundly or superficially. And so when you take the time, like in the privacy of this video, to remember and re-rehearse those old relationships, you can look at it from a higher perspective, a sweeter perspective, a healed perspective, a kind perspective, a forgiving and releasing perspective, and you see it for what it is now. And then you come into the present. You come into a better feeling body. You can look back at it and go, I understand. This was an abuser. This was me. And then push your energy out. So pushing your energy out means just expanding all of your God-given right to live, to be, to feel, and to smile. And get your neurology going back, because we're talking about the holiest of holies, your emotions, your central nervous system, your brain, your spinal cord, and then all the, neural pathways that go, the neuromusculature. I mean, this is how you feel. And so if you've been calloused, treat callously, so then you might have unfeeling, or you might have blockages. If you've been around people who have been angry or hostile, then you might have, a lot of burns, feeling emotionally burned by people, and then having trouble not feeling scarred and like going out into the world because you feel disfigured, disfaced emotionally because of this. And so it's important for you to reclaim your emotional real estate. You're on the Fiji Island, you're on, the Paradise Island, you're putting up a beautiful hotel there, if you will, which is you, the body is a temple. You are erecting a temple at primo land, And so, you need to, in a process of awareness, getting into higher levels of consciousness, begin to look at that, and then that will release you, let you go. You won't be so cluttered emotionally. Dr. Joe Dispenza, for those of you who are interested, have some excellent studies, talks, workshops, and meditations on getting into that pure consciousness state. So it's really getting into that pure consciousness, which helps you to make those adjustments and then visualize and then free up that freeze, fight, or fawn state, rather than living there so much, rather than living in that fight or flight, that, you're disengaging, you're disidentifying. Disidentifying meaning you're now giving yourself time, space, repetition, and experience to go back and then re-memorize the positive. So you're kind of like rewriting or reanalyzing the annals of the time of your life, and have it working for the positive. So, your experience, and so you can kind of alchemize it. You can put a healing cloak over that. You can put a healing light. You can put healing gold over those experiences, even when they were painful, manipulative, from a more mature perspective, you can cast light into that darkness and have the light really, really push through there. The light meaning your healing, kind of a feeling of understanding or acceptance, of holiness, of a certain spirituality. When you think back upon it, you can look at it and then claim your space and then get separation so you don't feel trauma bonded, where it's like you have, you know, a 3-foot steel thick cable that's like connecting you to this person. Like, that is a trauma bond. When you feel that chained, there is a trauma bond. And so it's looking back and saying, no, you know, whoever cast out that 3-foot thick, I mean, if you can imagine a 3-foot thick cable, steel, trying to, I mean, who has not felt that wounded or that attached, or their energy is that stuck? I mean, that's a lot of blockages. So it's like saying, no, you know, I am not under this 3-footed steel. I'm not linked there. So it takes a certain courage to say no and then get back your energy. But you have to utilize your free will and then, you know, get it moving. Movement helps to bring up your physiology, whether you wiggle your toes, your hands, you know, whatever it is, you're moving around, you know, drinking water, going out for your recovery date, getting your recovery gift, surrounding yourself with art, images that make you feel higher energy, at peace, at contentment, that reflect you. And it's also very good if they're memes, or if they have like some words to it, like perseverance or courage, or you know, things that are meaningful to you. But you need to take a moment to actually do that and make some adjustments in your life so that you have this new energy, and then it becomes part of you, and then you just roll with it. So I hope this video helps. I hope it helps you see the states of consciousness, how to get higher energy, and how to dispel the impact so that you can take ownership back of your life. It's so important. This is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, here today, and I hope that these videos help. Please share, please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.